And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all. They know that they cannot come for us all. And recently what they said is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress who were showing up for their legal and constitutional obligation to conduct oversight. If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem. Because the people who are breaking the law.
Oh, it just gets better and better every single day. Y'all need to go make an example out of this woman, please. And many others, they got to be walked out with their hands behind their back. How many threats? How much evidence do we need? How much do we need? We need to go make an example right now. Right now. We need to go make an example. They say, Rick, sir, calm down, sir. Your blood pressure, sir. We just started the week, sir. It's only Tuesday, sir. It is only Tuesday, Rick, sir. Calm down, sir. I'm sick of this crap, man. And I'm sick of this lady here. You need to go back to the bar. You just can't make this up. You just can't make this up. She said, y'all lay a finger. She went as far as saying a finger. God, no. Woo!
Are the people who are not abiding by it. And it is enshrined in the law that members of Congress who show up to ICE and CBP facilities are required to be granted access, legally required to be granted access. And they legally cannot be inhibited from accessing these facilities to conduct their constitutional obligation to investigate and conduct oversight. So if Kristi Noem wants to break the law, that's on her. But it sure as hell is not someone like Representative Robert Menendez that needs to be arrested. Okay.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
I want to just start this off by saying, I wish they actually cared this much about actual Americans. I'm just saying, I got to start the show off like that, y'all. I wish they cared this much about actual Americans, of we the people. I wish they actually cared this much for we the people. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. And who else is sick of not seeing enough handcuffs in arrest yet? I'm one of those ones, and that's what I advocate for on this channel. We ain't seen enough handcuffs and people walked out and we've seen a lot of people being walked out, you know. Criminals, murderers, rapers. I mean, and it's been good, you know. Yeah, we've seen people get fired, sued, you know, thrown off the NSNBCs, the CNN hosts quitting and being fired, laid off, and having salary cuts. It's been good, but we got to see some more stuff, man. I got to see some more handcuffs. I'm sick of this crap. I'm ready to see some more handcuffs. I'm ready to see some more arrests. I'm sick of not seeing arrests. They should have been had this lady long time ago. Long time ago, man. And it's a whole bunch of them, not just the AOCs. It's a whole bunch of them. We go down the list. And this video might be an hour long. But let's get into it, man. It's not looking good. Not looking good, family. But I hope y'all are having a blessed, beautiful start to the week. Happy Tuesday. You know, just trying to make it to Friday. Just trying to get to the weekend. You know how it is, family. You know, a lot is going on. The world of politics, I tell you. But the man is doing exactly what he campaigned on. And they just can't accept it. They hate it. You know, they piss on themselves at night. They boo-boo all on themselves. They ruin their suits. Because the man is doing exactly what he campaigned on. He warned you. He told you. And these activists, these judges, I mean, these people, these lunatics, these Democrats, I tell you, man, it gets no better. And they wonder where they're at now. Yeah. Let's jump in, y'all. If you're new here, join the family. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let's go and rock out.
So from Massachusetts to this scene in New Jersey on Friday where immigration's hitting a flashpoint in Newark. This is body cam video showing 3 House Democrats confronting ICE agents outside a detention facility there. The DHS
Put
saying
them in jail, prison. Let them sit in there. Look at the wall. Come on now.
Are still on the table after that chaos. The acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, here in studio to talk about this. And good morning to you. Got a lot of things we want to sort out here. Democrats claim they have congressional oversight, and they're on a visit for oversight, and they have the right to conduct that under federal law. You say to them what, based on what we know now?
I say 100% they do. That is in their purview. They do have congressional oversight. What we ask for is for them to do it the right way. Notify us in advance, you know, don't make a scene, don't put my office in jeopardy, don't put the men and women who work there at jeopardy, you know, the protesters who are out there, just do it the right way.
So where in this case did they cross the line in your view?
In my view, trying to force their way in, just trying to make a political stunt out of this, really, it goes above and beyond. ICE is all about transparency. You know, today we were there, had a tour of the facility with several media outlets. We want people to see what we're doing. But when you go ahead and you try to storm your way in, when you try to just bring cameras, bully my officers and agents, that's just not the right way to do it. Let's work together. Let's have that oversight, but let's do it in a professional manner, not a political stunt.
So the mayor of Newark, Ross Baraka, he had this to say on MSNBC on Saturday.
We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know who's in there. They don't allow inspections. They're not doing, they're not complying with the local laws. They don't have a certificate of occupancy in our argument, and we were in court arguing these matters. We usually solve those problems in America through the court of law. They don't want to use the court. They want to use a decree. They believe that what they say goes, that we have a kingdom here and not a democracy, and that's
A kingdom.
the problem.
He's in the middle of a...
He's sitting up there with Al Sharpton. Look. 2 criminals. 2 criminals. Look, 2 criminals. Look. 2 criminals, man. A disgrace. You just can't make this up.
So he's running against other Democrats. A lot of people might not know his name, but now a lot of people will after this. He says that all of these things are not being done legally at that facility. What do you say?
You know, we wouldn't have been able to have anyone legally in that facility without the permits. And one thing that I really find strikingly odd in this case is the mayor was elected in 2014. In 2014, Delaney Hall was open. There were immigration detainees there at that time. At no time under President Obama did he want to go ahead and have a protest. But yet now he makes a political stunt like this. And, you know, he also made the comments he wasn't there to protest, but he'd been there all week. So there's that.
Oh, so that's from the mayor. Here's some AOC on camera 2. Watch.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
You can address that comment. That's the way we rolled it. Also want to know how many people are in this specific facility? What are they accused of? Who's there?
So currently at the Delaney Hall facility is 152 detainees. 75% of them are convicted of a crime or pending criminal charges. People that are in there, the crimes that they're accused of are rape, child molestation, fentanyl trafficking, murder, wire fraud. These aren't the people you want in your neighborhoods. These are the people that are the worst of the worst, that ICE are out there arresting, putting their lives in line every day. And to address that comment, under the leadership of Secretary Noem and President Trump, we are out there doing what the American people want, and that is getting these public safety threats off the street so they're not out there to reoffend again.
This morning you were with Rachel Campos Duffy, and you were giving a little bit of a tour. What do you hope to try to show people in terms of the transparency that these members of Congress say they want? So you are providing it.
Right. And, you know, I was really happy to have the opportunity to kind of pull back that curtain and let people see exactly what's going on. ICE detention standards are some of the highest in the business. And when you come and you see what the facility actually looks like, I think the American people will be shocked. We've heard all sorts of things from inhumane treatment, no food, phones not working, and that's just not the case.
How many more can be taken to this facility in Newark?
So that facility in Newark can hold up to 1,000.
Up to, do you expect that to fill up?
You know, I do, especially now that we're having more cooperation with sanctuary jurisdictions. I think one thing for the Northeast, there isn't a lot of brick and mortar jails or detention facilities actually cooperate with ICE. So we have to travel to other parts of the country. You know, it puts my officers and agents more flying time. We're not out there actually doing what we're tasked to do. And it's also bringing these detainees and these aliens away from, you know, their legal teams and their families. So
we got to run, but how long before that facility in particular is filled, do you think?
I think you'll see it in the coming months. I think the more cooperation we're getting with ICE now that local law enforcement is assisting us, I think you'll see that.
Okay, all right, we're going to stay in contact.
Thanks so much
Oh man, the comment section underneath this video is, hey man, people are sick of this woman. I didn't really know how many people were sick of it, but man, a lot of people are sick of this woman saying, who does she think she is? Y'all got to hear this. This is lock this heifer up.
So anyways, we've got that's going on. And now what DHS is trying to say, again, they're using public intimidation because they know that they cannot come for us all. They know that they cannot come for us all. And recently what they said is that DHS is allegedly looking into arresting members of Congress who were showing up for their legal and constitutional obligation to conduct oversight. If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, on Representative, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem. Because the people who are breaking the law are the people who are not abiding by it. And it is enshrined in the law that members of Congress who show up to ICE and CBP facilities are required to be granted access, legally required to be granted access. And they legally cannot be inhibited from accessing these facilities to conduct their constitutional obligation to investigate and conduct oversight. So if Kristi Noem wants to break the law, that's on her. But it sure as hell is not someone like Representative Robert Menendez that needs to be arrested. Okay? We need to be talking about ICE agent, the ICE agents and the cowardly policy of covering their faces. Covering their faces. And a lot of them are also covering their identification. These are public employees that are accountable to the public and accountable to Congress. And this idea that we are going to allow some kind of paramilitary force to bloom that is not in any way accountable to the Constitution of the United States, we got another thing coming. Because that right there, that kind of attitude is what is actually anti-American. That kind of attitude is what is actually treasonous, is to attack our Constitution and to attack the obligations that we have in our Constitution, to attack free speech, to attack the powers of Congress, to erode our ability to investigate and conduct oversight.
You just can't make this up.
That is what is un-American. And this administration and Kristi Noem spits on the American flag every time she does that nonsense. So I don't want to hear anything about America first. These people and this administration is putting America last.
You hear this?
By acting like a man is who they are pledging allegiance to. That is not what this country is about. And it will never be what this country is about as long as I'm alive. I'll tell you that much. Anyways.
I'll leave it to y'all, man. I'll leave it to y'all, family.